well into the Bobcat t-250, and we've got a bad oil leak. The belt's shot. It's got cracks and stretched. I've got that much trash just around the battery tray, and it's still packed in there around the gas tank. This is one of the dirtiest machines I've ever seen. Got a belt off. I got all the bolts out of the flywheel. And I've tried to got to get it out of there and put an oil seal in it. Let's get into it. Well, I've got the flywheel out. You can see where years and years of oil has just been pouring. It's spread all over the back in here. You can see where that seal's been running out, grease and caked. I mean, it's been leaking for years because that's all oil soaked. Every bit of that dirt is just covered with oil. I run it for about 30 minutes every day, and it dripped a big puddle here in the floor, and it all came out of there. I supposedly have an oil seal on the way. I thought the idler would be bad, but it's not. It's pretty good. The bearing feels good in it. I am going to put another belt on it. I guess it's a 4-rib belt. 1, 2, 3, 4, yeah. There's several different ones to choose from. They're all about 40 bucks, even on Bobcat's website, except for this model. And of course, this model is like 70 bucks. Of course. So I'm going to get some parts cleaner in there and try to scrape some of this schmoo out. And I guess in the morning we'll start back. I'm working late tonight. I've been cleaning on this stuff for a couple of hours. Well, their seal's supposed to be here tomorrow. We'll jump back in then. This is our rear seal housing for a Kubota v3300 engine that goes in our Bobcat skid steer. We're going to replace the rear main seal, and we've resurfaced the back of this cover, and it doesn't get a gasket. It uses RTV silicone. It's supposed to use the gray. I've got the black. I hope it'll work. I got a rear main seal for this, and I got it from a company called High Quality. They sell a lot of stuff on eBay. It says it was shipped from America, engineered in USA. I hope it came from here. Doesn't say it's made here, it just says it's engineered here. But they send this along. I don't know what's in this little bag. Feels like a towel. Not sure. It says safety first. Let's open it up and take a look. Shoo! Some kind of prep wipe or something. I don't know. Maybe I'm supposed to clean the parts with this. Didn't have any instructions. Well, this little piece here, the seal that come out of it, it's 100 on the inside, 120 millimeters on the outside. And this one measures 120 on the outside, the one that came out of it, but it's also 100 millimeters on the inside, so the lip is, I guess, just collapsed on it. It was leaking, but when I took it apart, it appeared that there was oil coming out down here on the bottom. I think that's the bottom, yeah. There was oil coming out down here on the bottom, and it was kind of scratched up and had some gunk on it from a previous repair. So I think it was coming out down here. But still, I'm going to replace the seal. And also, there's some damage. It's got a scratched up place that I tried to clean up the best I could. Place over here. Place over there. It looks like it's had screws in it where they've tried to get the seal out. I guess whoever put it in last may have damaged it. I don't know. Maybe I did. But the back's cleaned up a lot nicer than it was. I just laid a piece of this Scotch-Brite stuff down and just scooted it back and forth over it on this flat surface to try to get it cleaned up a little bit, get all the schmoo off of it. It doesn't actually cut into the aluminium. It just kind of flattens it out and gets all the garbage off. But because I've got these, you have a seal ring in the very center. This one has a seal ring. And that seal ring is supposed to sit right in this little groove. The new one does not. And this looks like an original part here. This is a Japanese part. I tried to look it up, but in order to replace this, you have to order it directly from Japan. And it's probably an original Kubota part, but it appears that it's been changed at least once. So we'll try this other part. It goes in there pretty nice. But I'm going to put just a little bit of silicone around this outside lip and then bang this in there, and hopefully that silicone will fill up any of these little voids that we've got in here, and maybe this little sealing ring. Let's get to it. Okay, we've got that in there. I reckon it just sits flush with the face. Put just a little bit of silicone around the outside edge. Doesn't really have nothing to back up against unless there's something in the block. Kind of horse. Well, not really anything to back it up. It does have a repair ring of some kind on it. So I've got to get in here. There's a bunch of silicone left over from when it was last done. Got to get in here and clean all this silicone out and use some scratch spread. Try to get this cleaned up, ready to go. Okay. Got the plate in there and got the seal on. Everything went on nicely. I put some assembly lube around the crank part. Got all the bolts torqued. They torqued from 22 to 25 pound on this aluminium engine. It's only got like 4 marks. If it had 7 marks or 10 marks, it would torque at 44 or 50, but the bolts has only got just a few marks on them. They're M12 bolts. But that's on with the seal on it. Now the next thing to do is get this Gimangus flywheel in there. That's going to take some doing. I may have to have a helper. I'm going to try to just roll it in and prop it up on something. See if I can get on there. I don't have a belt yet. It's supposed to be here tomorrow. I like to have all this assembled. I see this belt tensioner here. I didn't excuse me. I didn't even know this thing was here. Sorry, I took a coughing fit there. You loosen this. It's just a stop is all it is. You loosen this stop up and you can loosen that bolt right there and back your spring off, and then you can slide the belt right on there. I pried it up to get it off. I guess you can do it either way. But I'm going to try to loosen these two things and then tighten it back down and put some tension back on it when I put it back on the new belt. Probably needs to be loosened anyway. Somebody's probably had it run all the way in. Let's see what happens next. There's our flywheel installed. All the bolts torqued. I think what I was looking up said torque 73 to 75 pounds. And I may be incorrect on that, but that's all I could find on it. This thing also, the belt won't be here till tomorrow, so you can loosen this stop up and slide it back, which it looks like it slid almost all the way back. And then loosen that spring bolt up there, and that'll give me, I'll loosen it up enough where I can get that tensioner back on there in the belt. So we'll take care of that. Probably won't be here tomorrow. Tomorrow's Sunday, so I probably won't get my belt on Monday. But meanwhile, while we're waiting on that, I'm going to try to take care of getting the battery box. Here's the battery box. I soaked it in that rust remover. It was really weak, that rust remover I had. It didn't have no bite left to it. So I'm going to have to grind what rust there is off of here, just to get it knocked down to the metal. Then I want to take, I've got some POR in the can, which is, I guess that stands for paint over rust. And I'm going to coat this whole thing real good with that POR. And I should take care of that. I got my plastic cover cleaned. I pressure washed it yesterday. I didn't get it all off, but got most of it off there. It weighed about 30 pounds when I took it out. Now it don't weigh nothing. So it's covered with grease. I'm working on getting this thing cleaned up right now. Well, this thing is pretty chewy, but I got most of the big chunks off of it. We're going to give it a good coat of POR, and hopefully that'll keep it together for a little while. Then we'll put a new one on if the time ever comes. I doubt I will ever see this thing out again. Let's get her painted up. There's some POR slapped on the battery tray. Paint over rust, I guess they call it. POR 15 top coat, direct to metal. Rust preventive paint. No need to primer or undercoat. It works pretty good. I put it on rotten frames and things like that. You're just trying to cover up from salt damage and things. It's just I'm going to get inside this before I put the battery tray in. I'm going to get in here and vacuum what rust there is in there out, and maybe spray them bolts. Those bolts are pretty cruddy. But I'm done for tonight until I get some more parts, so it's a hurry up and wait thing. I do appreciate you guys riding along. This is a quick little video, a progress report for the T-250. Rear main seals in. This is just a little quick video on showing you how to put the rear main in. It didn't really show much, but kind of showed the process that I had to go through. Before I put the belt on, we will loosen that bolt up and loosen this tensioner up. I'll mark it first. Might make sure I put it back where it was. And that should take care of that. And next video, I'll do just a little quick video next time of putting this belt on when it comes in. But thanks for watching, guys. Thanks for hanging out. Like this video if you like the content. Subscribe to our channel if you want to see more stuff like this. And share. The more likes and shares we get, the more mentions, or if you just comment, it helps us out. Subscribe to our channel and that'll help us out too. Thank you guys for riding along. Stay clean, everybody.